This is based on a true story. In the late 1960s, at the height of the drug trade in New York City lived a fearless black man who, despite having no direct connections with the Italian mafia, overcame all obstacles to build one of the biggest drug empires in America. His name, Frank Lucas. Before we continue, here's a disclaimer. This video is in no way promoting criminal behavior, illegal drug use, or sales of hard drugs. Drug use and drug sales is illegal and is subject to punishment by law. Now back to our story. This film is based on the 2007 crime movie American Gangster, starring top movie stars such as Denzel Washington as Frank Lucas, Russel Crowe, Idris Elba, Common, and Cuba. The movie begins with Lucas working as a driver and right-hand man of a Harlem gangster named Bumpy Johnson. When Johnson dies, Lucas decides to take over his operation and begins importing heroin directly from Vietnam in Southeast Asia, cutting out the middlemen and distributing a purer product at a lower price than his competitors. With the help of his family and a team of loyal soldiers, Lucas quickly rises to the top of the drug trade in New York. He was eventually brought down by an honest cop, Richie Roberts. But the question is, how could a mere driver from an underprivileged background in a highly competitive market controlled by the ruthless and deadly Italian mafia rise to the top and achieve what the mafia couldn't accomplish in America in over 100 years? In this video, we will break down the entire process and the business decisions that helped Lucas dominate his market and build a wealthy empire. First secret, mentorship. Isaac Newton once said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants." According to Frank Lucas, his boss Bumpy Johnson was instrumental in his success. He taught him to be a gentleman and to be ruthless. In his words in the movie, describing his relationship with Bumpy Johnson, he said, "The man I worked for, he had the biggest companies in New York City. He ran it for more than 50 years. I was with him every day. I worked for him. I protected him. I looked after him. I learned from him." So having the right mentor can help you annihilate years of trial and error and achieve success faster. Second secret, understanding trends. At the beginning of the movie, Bumpy Johnson was complaining to Frank Lucas about the changing situation in America. Speaking about the businesses in America, he said, "What right do they have? Cutting out the suppliers, the middlemen, buying direct, putting Americans out of work. That's the way it is now, Frank. That's the way it is." See, Frank understood the situation, and after his boss's death, he built his business in line with the times. In our world today, technology, AI, is disrupting a lot of industries. If you fail to leverage this trend, you can be kicked out and lose everything. Third secret, identifying opportunities. After Bumpy's death, which coincided with the time American soldiers were fighting in Vietnam, Frank was listening to the news one day and heard about the drug epidemic among US soldiers in Vietnam. Through the news, he discovered that large quantities of hard drugs were produced in Bangkok, Saigon, and other areas of Vietnam and Thailand. And the drugs produced were purer than that being sold in the States. This was an opportunity for Frank to get to the source, cut out the middleman, and get a product that was higher in quality than what was available in the States. So to succeed in business, it is important to have an eye for opportunities and constantly seek out for the right information sources. Listening to the news, reading books, and attending events can help in this case. Fourth secret, think big and be innovative. Speaking to his brothers about his ex-boss Bumpy Johnson, Frank said, "Yeah, Bumpy was rich, but he wasn't white man's rich, you see. He wasn't wealthy. He didn't own his company. He thought he did, but he didn't. He just managed it. The white man owned it, so they owned him. Nobody owns me though. That's because I own my own company, and my company sells a product that's better than the competition at a price that's lower than the competition." See, from his statements, you could figure out two key things. Frank was ambitious. He understood that his boss, who was more of a reseller to the Italian mafia, couldn't attain the sort of wealth his suppliers had because they controlled the market and the prices. You see, there's only so much money you can make when you don't own the product or control the value chain. A good example is affiliate marketers. The owner of the product can decide to introduce new policies that can crash your profit overnight. But when you own your product and your brand, you can control a lot of factors that can create unimaginable wealth for you. On the other hand, in the subject of innovation and disruption, I once watched a disruption series by Vusi Tembekwaya, the South African entrepreneur, public speaker, and multi-millionaire. He said, Disruption occurs when three things happen. When someone can do what you do cheaper or better or faster. An example he gave was Uber, which delivers the taxi for you more conveniently at an affordable price and grants you a taxi faster than the traditional taxi, thereby ticking all three boxes. In the case of Frank Lucas, he sells a product that was twice better and at a lower price than his competitors. He also made the product easily accessible by his target market, which meant that he disrupted the drug market faster than the speed of light and created a monopoly. Fifth secret, market research. Before he began distributing his product, he conducted market research by disguising himself and moving into the neighborhood to identify his target market, understand their lifestyle, and identify his distribution points. In building a successful business, knowing your customer is vital. If you don't know them, then you can't satisfy them. Sixth secret, brand or die. Frank Lucas named his product Blue Magic, which represented top quality. A combination of the name and the quality stood for gave it a competitive edge in the market. At one point in the movie, Frank's cousin and right-hand man, Huey, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, informed Frank that one of their resellers, Nicky Burns, has diluted the drug and was reselling it with his brand name. Frank confronted him in his nightclub and told him this: "I don't understand why you would take something so good and mess it up. You see, brand names mean something. Blue Magic, that's brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it. They know that. Even if they don't know me more than they know the chairman of General Mills. What I'm talking about is when you chop down my dough 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% and call it Blue Magic, that is trademark infringement." So branding is not just about giving your product or company a beautiful name. It is also about positioning. What unique thing do your customers know your company for? What memory do you leave for your customers? That's your edge. Seventh secret, quality over quantity. I would describe this in a simple sentence. Build a product so good that your customers tell their friends about it. If you're in the service industry, deliver an experience so good that your clients tell their friends about it. Blue Magic was an example of top product quality. When he went to Vietnam to meet the supplier, his cousin suggested he buys from some middlemen. But he knew that will only compromise the quality, so he insisted on risking his life to meet the original source. Make no mistakes about it, some top companies have been built based on great product quality alone. But on the other hand, a combination of great marketing and a great product gives you a great business empire. But even if you're the greatest marketer in the world and you can even sell snow to Eskimos, if your product is crappy, you will eventually be found out and you will lose your business and reputation. You can fool people once, but you can't fool them forever. Eighth secret, relationships and partnerships are key. In business as in life, relationships are everything. No one ever achieves success alone. Frank Lucas was able to build close relationships with corrupt police officials to evade the law and protect his empire. Building strong relationships with key stakeholders in a business, such as suppliers, partners, and customers, is vital. By developing strong relationships, businesses can gain access to resources, expertise, and opportunities that can help them to succeed. In the movie, one of his most notable partnerships was with the Italian mafia, Don Catano, part of the Lucchese crime family. Catano asked to be a wholesale partner. In exchange, he promised to help Lucas scale his business nationwide and guarantee him protection and peace of mind. Catano understood a simple business rule by Peter Thiel: if you can't beat a rival, it may be better to merge. To strengthen the relationship further, Frank supplied his product to him at a much lower price than expected. Ninth secret, don't be loud. I once heard that a Rothschild family has a simple road to win: don't be loud. In his book 0 to 1, Peter Thiel stated that monopolies lie to protect themselves. They know that bragging about their monopoly invites being audited, scrutinized, and attacked, whereas non-monopolies tell the opposite lie: we're in a league of our own. In a particular scene in the movie where Frank Lucas was berating his cousin Huey for wearing a showy suit to a party, he said to him, "That's a clown suit. That's a costume with a big sign on it that says, 'Arrest me.' You understand? You're too loud. You're making too much noise. Look at me. The loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. I told you that." You see, Frank Lucas lived a simple life that diverted all unnecessary attention from him and made it so difficult for the police to track him. When you start making money, there's always this temptation to become too showy, flaunt your wealth, and let the whole world know about it. That's a trap, don't fall for it. Some of the wealthiest folks in this planet lead simple lives. So I'll say, unless you're marketing, don't make too much noise and don't exaggerate. 10th secret, get rid of the bad employees. In the movie, Frank Lucas had this cousin who had a bad temper. He was the driver to Huey, Frank's right-hand man and cousin. Jimmy once shot a cop on the leg at Frank's party for attempting to play with his girlfriend, and Frank brutalized Jimmy for that and told Huey to get rid of him, but Huey pleaded that Jimmy was his cousin. So Jimmy eventually turned out to be the loophole that led to the downfall of Frank. This happened after he tried to shoot his girlfriend after losing his temper, which landed him in the police net. To get him to cooperate, he was threatened by the police with a 15-year jail term. He eventually became an informant to the police. This shows that one bad employee can crash your business. They can be highly skilled, but if they have the wrong attitude, it can affect the whole company and bring your business to a halt. So it's important to identify the bad eggs early on and get rid of them before they cause greater havoc. 11th secret, be bold. There is a popular saying, fortune favors the brave. Frank made a lot of bold decisions and took a lot of bold actions that transformed his life and business. He was courageous enough to carve his own path in a market dominated by the Italian mafia, an unlikely feat for a black man at that time. He was bold enough to visit Saigon in Vietnam at the time of the war to meet with the original source of heroin. He was bold enough to meet and convince his then wife, Eva Kondo, a Puerto Rican beauty queen, to marry him. Ladies and gentlemen, being bold enough to take action in what you believe in is worth more than gold. According to a quote by Wayne Gretzky, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Maybe what you need is not a new business idea, but to take action on the idea you already had. 12th secret. Success breeds enemies. When his success was becoming unbearable for the mafia, he was attacked at some point and his wife was almost shot. He ended up being shot in the process. When he met Catano to complain about his failure to protect him as promised, Catano replied to him with this statement: "Your success took a shot at you. What you gonna do now? How you gonna kill it? You're gonna become unsuccessful? Frank, you can be successful and have enemies. Be unsuccessful too and even have friends." Jay-Z sampled this line in his 2007 song, Success. You see, successful people are often subject to attacks, criticisms, and hate. So be prepared for it and decide whether it's a risk worth taking. 13th secret, be generous and always give back. Frank's boss, Johnson, was nicknamed the Robin Hood of Harlem because of his generosity to locals and the less privileged. This endeared him to the masses. Frank followed in the footsteps of his boss and earned respect, love, and loyalty through his generosity. I also personally think that there's something spiritual about giving. 14th secret, honesty and integrity are the backbone of business success. At the beginning of his partnership with his brothers, Frank told them, the most important thing in business is honesty, integrity, hard work, family, never forgetting where we came from. It might sound ironic, but even the most illegal businesses in the world requires people with these qualities to succeed. A business with no integrity or honesty within its ranks will eventually lose trust with its customer base, and when there is no trust, the business is dead. This is an indispensable and timeless rule. Fifteenth secret, don't be evil, do the right thing. This is not meant to infringe on Google's code of conduct, but this sums up the intent of this video. The timeless principles and immutable business laws that has been outlined here is to help you build businesses that will transform the world for good. Frank Lucas's business, while successful, brought so much sorrow and death to the world. He ended up with a 70-year prison sentence, which was later reduced to 15 years due to his collaboration with the police. So do not engage in illegal businesses, no matter how lucrative it is. You may enjoy the short-term gains, but you will eventually be caught up by the law or even killed. But even if you manage to evade justice on this earth, you must still answer to the judge of all the earth, who is no respecter of persons. So please don't be evil and do the right thing always. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching to this point. It takes a lot of effort and hard work to create videos like this, and we appreciate your patience. Next week, we'll be dropping a video of an ordinary woman who lost everything but was able to build a $3 billion dynasty from scratch from a misfortune. It's a must watch if you feel you are at the bottom of your life. So don't forget to like and share this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to be notified whenever we drop the next video. I wish you the best in your business journey. Just a mindset rehab team, y'all. Let's make it happen.